I've spent the last 4 years learning from the most brilliant marketers today. And now I've left my 9-to-5 to take the plunge and build my $1 million business. The real question is, how will I do it without VC funding or debt, completely from scratch? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share marketing strategies to grow my online business using only today's best internet sales funnels. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Sales Funnel Radio. All right, my friends. Hey, so I thought it'd be really cool today to share with you guys why it is that OfferMind was free last year, all right, and why it will never be again. And the reason I'm telling you this is because some people have asked, and some people have gotten mad that it's not free. Please know, first of all, that that event cost me $80,000 to put on, and it was not, right, we really didn't make much money from the whole thing once it was said and done, okay? We just didn't. And that wasn't the purpose of it. And so what I thought would be fun is to teach you guys why it was how it was, and why it was free, and why it won't be free. And the reason is so I can teach you the strategy behind it. Okay. Now let me just walk you through what was going on in my life, both in kind of my business life. Right. I leave ClickFunnels. And I go and I'm gonna go sell stuff. Right. And I started out in the network marketing industry, which I'm still very much a part of. But I get to about September of last year, and I started realizing, like, oh my gosh, like, what is it that I really, really, really want to do, right? I identified a place where the market wanted some value. I knew how to deliver that value, so I've been selling in that space, right? And I was selling to network marketers a lot, and nothing against them. I'll never have anything against them, nothing like that. But what's interesting is I started realizing, like, oh my gosh, like, what is it that I actually want to do? And so I started kind of some more deep heart-to-hearts kind of thing, and realizing, like, okay, future cast, like 5 years, right? 10 years, 15 years. It's not something I usually like to do. I always hate it in goals, and like, what's it going to be like for you 10 years from now? Like, man, I don't know what's going to be like 6 months from now most of the time, right? I think it's stupid to plan. I think was it Tim Ferriss that said after 6 months, planning is just guessing, which I totally agree with, right? There's some fluidness there that I can't have if I'm just going to make plans all the time and try and plan everything all out. But I still need to be able to predict the future in my own business. I learned that from Alex Sharfin, right? I need to predict the future in my own business. I need to make sure that what I am saying, what I'm doing, I have the ability to actually make it come to fruition, which is what I've been practicing a lot lately from the last 6 months, and it's been working. Okay, and I'm like, hey, here's where we're going, and then we go there, boom, right? And it shows up, and it's there. It's awesome. Anyway, so I started having some more heart-to-hearts, and I started realizing, like, what is it that I actually want to do? It's a new shirt, kind of drive me nuts a little bit. What is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to? How's it that I want to move forward professionally? Right? What do I really want to be known for? What is it that my natural skill set is around? It's always best when you can build a business around your natural skill set. Right? I'm not saying you have to, but it's, it helps a lot, right? So what are the natural skill sets? What are the things that I'm really known for? What are the things I'm good at? And so I started looking through and realizing, like, everything that I was teaching had to do with how to create a better offer. Even if it seemingly looked like it had nothing to do with the offer for a while, it actually did. It's actually the reason why I'd go and I'd start teaching. And so what I started doing was I started developing content, and I started testing it. Like, it's about a year ago. It's about a year, probably like April-ish last year. It was after I did the final FAT event, the final funnel hackathon event for ClickFunnels last January. So it's January 2018. That's when I did the final one, and they decided to stop it. And there's a part of me that died a little. I was like, crap. Like, I really loved that event. And it was one of those scenarios where I knew I was getting results the fastest for people in that compressed 3-day period. And so I was like, I gotta find another way. Like, how can I incorporate the things that I'm good at mixed with, like, the business ideas and, like, the models that I like to most, I love events. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do events. Events are my thing. Events are kind of my, right? They're kind of my jam, right? I come alive at events, and I love that. So what I started asking, and the reason I'm bringing this up is so you guys can start asking these kind of questions to yourself as well. Some of you guys don't know what you want to do yet. But I don't know that some of you would also realize that a lot of this is very malleable, right? combine the skill set, combine with a problem, combine with what it is that you do, combine with a business model that's been proven. How is it that you can take what you do and deliver it to the marketplace, right? So those are a lot of questions I started asking myself. And I started consulting with some people that I both look up to or my peers, but also a lot of my coaches. I hire a lot of coaches, guys. That is one of the fastest accelerants to the game, right? And I get coached, right? And anyway, so I started consulting a lot of them. And it's funny, I know I bring up Russell Brunson a lot, but it's because I spent 2 years next to the guy, and it's not like I did anything else. I didn't have any hobbies. I didn't have any, you know what I mean? Like, it's such fast work pace over there. I didn't do anything else with my life. So yeah, I got 2 years worth of memories that I keep going back to. So anyways, I was talking to Russell, and I was like, dude, I'm trying to figure out what it is that I want to do. And there was this inner circle meeting that we were at, and we were hanging out at James Friel's house, and there's a bunch of us over there. And it was Russell Brunson and Myron Golden, and they were standing side by side, and I was standing on the other side of a couch from them. We were all talking. And Russell looks over and goes, so how are things going then? I said, good, but I'm trying to figure out like what my purpose is. Anyone ever asked that question? It's an important question to ask. I said, I'm trying to figure out what my purpose is. And the moment that left my mouth, Russell just started laughing, like genuine hysterical laughing. And I was like, it's a serious question, dude. I feel like that's something that you shouldn't be laughing at. And he kept laughing, and he's laughing. I was like, and Myron, he looked away for a moment. Then he's like, wait, what did he say? What did he say? And he goes, he just asked the purpose question. And Myron starts laughing. And I was like, what are you talking? Like, why are you guys laughing at me about this? This is probably July, August of last year, 2018. And they both start laughing. And I was like, I'm assuming you're laughing because you're telling me it's not that big of a deal, but I'm acting like it is. And Myron goes, Steven, I found out what I wanted to do 3 months ago. I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, I don't remember how old he is, you know. And he goes, but think about that. I was like, all right. And Russell's like, yeah, dude, you came in like right after I figured out what I wanted to do, ClickFunnels. But I'd already been in the game for like 12 years. I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I've understood that and I've accepted that. But like, I'm trying to figure out, is the purpose that I want to go for, is it something I hunt? Or is it something that is discovered by me along the path? Right? That's a good question. You know what I mean? Because otherwise I'm going to start brainstorming. What's my purpose? What is it that I'm going to go do? Because I started, otherwise I'm going to go, and I know what my head can do, and it's awesome, but like I will go deep, and I will not stop, and I will obsess if I don't stop myself. And which there's power to that, which is part of the reason why I've chosen what I have, right? And so anyways, I was like, so is this something that I discover, or is it something that I will design? And they said, it's more something you're going to discover. I said, all right. And Russell, after a while, he just looked up and he goes, dude, don't worry about it. He said, solve problems for people and create value. There it is. And I was like, oh. And it brought down my questions about a lot of this stuff. And I suddenly stopped freaking out so much. And not that I was freaking out, but it was a question on my mind, which a lot of you guys are asking me that question as well. When somebody knows what they want to do, I'm very good at helping them make that profitable. Very good at it. But when somebody walks up to me and they're like, I don't know what I want to do, I'm like, I don't know how to help you. You know, a lot of times people hire me for a consultation or whatever. They'll be like, Steven, I've hired you for this session so that I can figure out what it is that I want to do. And I'm like, crap, I should probably refund you because that is not my role. How on earth am I supposed to put words in your mouth and thoughts in your brain as to what you're going to dedicate yourself to? That's not my role, and I never will do that, okay? You know what I mean? It's when someone knows what they sell. It's when someone knows what they want to sell. I'm very good at making that profitable on multiple platforms. Honestly, it's the same like 4 or 5 things that I've noticed. It works regardless of whatever industry you're in. And then it's like, bam, bam, success, 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 right? And then I couple that with a lot of what goes on in the human psyche. That's what I'm good at, right? And that's what I've been known for. So anyways, so that led me on this journey. And I was like, well, what is it that I really want to go do? And I spoke with my buddy Dana Derricks, and I spoke with, again, Russell a lot more. And I spoke with Myron, and I spoke with a lot of these guys that I'm friends with. I spoke with Dave Lindenbaum. He's one of my good buddies as well. I spoke with Allison Prince, and a lot of people, right? That's one of the benefits of an inner circle. That's why, like, I got to be honest, like a lot of times I don't participate that much in the coaching. I should, but just having the network alone is like, that's why everyone should join a mastermind at some point. Like, it is ridiculous. The acceleration is so much greater than anything else I have experienced. Anyway, so I talked to a lot of them, and unanimously, they saw something in me that I could not see in myself. Another benefit of having an inner circle that knows who you are and knows you intimately, right? So I was like, what is this thing? And what is it? And it's funny, Julie Stoyan started laughing. And she's like, come on, Steven, like, you know what you should be going and doing. I was like, no, I don't. Like, all of you see me in this thing that I'm not seeing in myself yet, right? I'm this close and I can't see it. And a lot of you guys are that way as well. And I get that. I'm letting you know this because as part of the Sales Funnel Radio intro, the intro is follow me on my journey, both the ups and the downs, as I document my way to my first million. We crossed that a while ago. I need to update that intro. But like, this is me making sure you understand some of the things that I've gone through along the way. And because we all do, right? That's like a common theme when in inner circle meetings, when someone stands up, they're like, I'm standing here today because we're making a lot of money, but I don't know if it's what I want to be doing anymore. It's like, that's not an abnormal thing for people to be saying. Don't freak out if you have that question. We all have that question eventually. And it's usually something that comes back, especially for entrepreneurs that are a little bit like twitchy, like, what about, how about this, right? And we're all over the place. Totally a normal thing to say. So anyways, I kept going and going. And suddenly, Dana and Russell and Julie and Dave and anyway, a lot of them, they pretty much all, and I don't think they spoke to each other. They're all like, dude, you obsess over offers. And Russell was like, dude, you go so much deeper into offers than anyone I've ever met in my entire life. Like, you should be the offer guy. Like, Danny Dirks is the Dream 100 guy. Be the offer guy. And suddenly all these maps and all these frameworks that I had been developing, just they stuck together. And I saw that they actually molded and crossed together at the same time. And the thing that I wanted to do, I loved doing the FAT event for Russell, but it's his content. You understand? All I did was organize it. Okay, it's still his content. What I wanted to do is I wanted a platform. This is why OfferMind was free the first time. There's two things that really needed to happen in order for me to go and kill it, right? I need for people to think in their heads, Steven is the offer guy, right? I need to capture that market share in people's brains. So how do I do that? Right. So there's a few reasons why. Like, I'm doing this episode because I saw a guy post on here, which is totally fine. And I get it. I actually would be the same. I would say the same thing that he said. I didn't go to OfferMind because it was free. And because it was free, I judged the content based on the fact that the event was free. I get it. Okay. What I needed to do, there's a few scenarios that I was playing with. And this is why, again, OfferMind was free. This is also why I never will be again, because it worked. The strategy that I did this for, the intent for which I did all this, it worked. But anyway, so what I want to teach you real quick is a few of the things that I was doing along the way so that you understand why I did that from a strategic standpoint. So you understand. Anyways, one of the major reasons, I'm actually drawing here so I can make sure that I get it all out of my head. One of the reasons why I did this, man, there's a lot. It's on a lot of levels why I did it this way. The reason, I'll just start from here, okay? I wanted to be the offer guy, right? I want to be the offer guy. The offer guy is who I will probably rebrand Sales Funnel Radio, okay? iTunes doesn't like it when you go past 300 episodes, all right? Well, we're getting close to that. I will probably at some point retire Sales Funnel Radio. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm going to, but it's a thought that I'm just playing with, right? As I'm looking for, because I'm not trying to be the sales funnel guy. That'd be stupid. That would actually be suicide. Who is the sales funnel guy? Russell. It made sense for me to make a show called Sales Funnel Radio when I was a sales funnel builder, right? And the first 100 episodes is me documenting everything I learned sitting next to him. That's what the first 100 episodes of Sales Funnel Radio is. I'm not that good at speaking in those episodes. That's okay. That wasn't the purpose of it. Then after that, episode 101 on was me documenting the journey to my first million. Did it, okay? So now I'm documenting my journey to my next 4 million, which I believe we will hit. I think we're on track to do so. Anyway, which is cool, right? And it's neat for me to document that along the way. But there's a shift coming, and I can feel it. And I'm excited for it. And it's in anticipation for a lot of things at the top of my value ladder that you all don't even know about yet. But timing matters. And it's not time for me to reveal what those are yet. Okay. So you have to understand that in order for me to become the offer guy, what I started looking at and realizing was like, well, That's a new value ladder, right? Which in my mind is a business. That's a brand new, or at least on the marketing side, that's a brand new value ladder, 100% an entire new value ladder. Now, what do I know? What do I understand very clearly on how to develop new value ladders? Okay, I have to start at the middle. I should not start at the bottom. I should not start at the top. I need to start at the middle. However, I want to cash flow it like it's at the top though, because I have a current business, right? I've got it's a couple employees and about 18 1099s that work for me monthly. Okay, I've got business expenses, right? My monthly expenses right now are like 40 to 50 grand a month, right? Which is great. Which is fine. I expected that. I mean, that's why I developed it this way. Well, it will be about 40, 50. Right now it's about 30 to 40. Depends how much ads we spend. But anyway, and we've been doing over 6 figures every single month for the last 9 months, something like that. Anyway, here's the point. What I needed to do is, there's a few forces at play here, okay? The last guy to really be the offer guy was Claude Hopkins back in the late 1800s, okay? There hasn't been an offer guy for like 100 years. You know, it's been a long time, okay? So for me, that's cool. What that means is that that banner has been raised historically in the past at some point. That validates it. That validates the idea. That validates the move for me. And that was one of the things I identified. I was like, oh my gosh, I should go do that. Okay. And I start laying down, you know, so what flag did he pick up? What was that banner that he was holding as the offer guy, right? Back then they didn't call it offers. They called it schemes. Okay. And you hire a scheme man. What's the scheme? What's the plan? What's the scheme for you to go sell your thing? And Claude Hopkins was a scheme man. Now that means something different. It means like you're a schemer, like it's a negative connotation, but it didn't mean that then. But anyway, so I was like, well, I'm gonna go be the offer guy. That's technically a blue ocean. No one is the offer guy, right? There really isn't. There's people who've brought books out. There's people who've said like, hey, about the offer, do this. Hey, around the offer, do this, which also further validates the move. But no one is the offer guy, right? No one has dedicated themselves wholly to the offer. And so that's why I was like, okay, those are all good signs for me. Those are great signs. Now, what red ocean will I come out of? Okay, definitely ClickFunnels, because they are the ones who will most likely attach to that the fastest. They understand the power of an offer. Does this make sense? I'm not just trial closing you, but like hopefully understand why I was doing this. Okay. If I see 46 comments there, I'll go to them in a moment here, but let me get these ideas out and I'll end with that here. But does that make sense though? So it's like, okay, there is offer stuff out there, but no one's like put it together and become the offer ocean, right? The offer market, the offer guy, the offer guru. And so those are all great signals for me. Those are huge signals. Okay, what I needed to do with that backdrop in place, I needed to capture, like I said, as much market mind share as possible in people's brains that Stephen really doesn't know what the heck he's talking about when it comes to offers. So how do I do that? Right? And so what I did was I went and I started creating, I started putting together all this content that I had already previously been teaching that I didn't know was actually all about offers. Okay. And I was like, I need a platform. I need a platform. So what if I was to go create an event? And what if I was to create an event where I could just teach everything from beginning to end? Because while I love the FAT event, it was Russell's content, not mine. And so I've been teaching bits and pieces on Sales Funnel Radio. I've been teaching bits and pieces on other people's stages. I've been teaching bits and pieces on other people's platforms. But I had never had a scenario yet up until that point where I could teach literally. It wasn't even everything. I'll be honest. The audience gave out before I did. I was ready to keep going. We just ran out of time. Okay, 2 days is not enough time for me to teach my stuff. But anyway, so I went and I was able to teach from beginning to as far as possible, from actual ideation. How do I validate the idea? How do I know if it's going to be a good idea? How most likely? How do I know that it's most likely going to be a success? What are all the things I can do in place as I move forward to make sure that I've got all the cards in my hand that I possibly can, right? As many of them as possible to make sure this is a success. That means I have to be able to teach not just offer creation. I need to teach market positioning. I need to be able to teach far more about what actual marketing even is, how to actually create an ecosystem, which we know sits on top of content. So I need to teach a lot of content. Hey, that's cool. I'm a content guy already. Okay, I produce tons of content. It was just fascinating to see all these things come together that I'd already been doing and realize like, oh my gosh, there it is. Okay, I bring this up for many reasons. I wanted to teach from start to finish OfferMind. I also wanted to be able to create in front of a live audience lots of content. I always tend to do better whenever it's in front of a live audience because I watch the reactions of people. I wanted to be able to I hate crappy events, guys. I hate them. It's not that the event needs to be nice. It should be expensive, all that stuff. But when I walk into an event, it needs to feel like I'm not in a hotel. That's my honest feeling. It needs to feel like I've entered another dimension. It needs to feel like I have moved into it, right? Because it's all about the 7th phase of the funnel, which is to change the selling environment. Okay, so I'm changing the selling environment and like, it needs to feel like a new environment, right? So I was like, well, okay, so I'm going to do a whole event to teach all my stuff from start to finish. And I spent 3 weeks preparing those slides. Like I did nothing else. It was obsessive. It was so fun. Oh, I can't wait to do that again. It was a lot of work. Holy crap. I was like, okay, well, how do I fill the room? I really don't care that they pay. I don't want to lose money. I just wanted to break even so that for a few reasons. Okay, so this is what I did. I noticed that over here in the red ocean, ClickFunnels, it's not red. Okay, but the ocean I'm selling into, the market I'm selling to is the ClickFunnels community, right? What momentum and noise is already being created inside of this ocean that I can piggyback off of? What was that? This is how I filled the event so intensely. This is how I made so much noise. I piggybacked and rode off of the momentum of a bigger giant, ClickFunnels. Okay. This is one of the easiest ways for you guys to go create a lot of cash quickly is by piggybacking off of some momentum that the category king in your red ocean market is doing. What was that? Dang it, it's on my other shelf. Is the 30 Days book. All right, is the 30 Days book. What I did is I piggybacked off of, does this make sense what I'm talking about so far? Okay, because I was creating a blue ocean, and I still am, but if I was not the one to take as much market share as possible, someone else can swoop in if they had a bigger list. Let's say Frank Kern saw what I was doing. Let's say Pat Flynn. Let's say that somebody else saw the opportunity that I did, and I didn't capture as much market share as I did. Someone could swoop in. So it was a game, okay, where I need to capture as much as possible a lot of the market share in people's brains that I am the offer guy. So run a big event, make a lot of noise about it, but fill it by leveraging the momentum already created by a red ocean category king, ClickFunnels. Okay, so what I saw was Russell started telling everybody, hey, we got this big summit coming. Hey, it's going to be a big affiliate thing. Hey, this, hey, this, hey, this. And if you guys go to ofasignup.com, right, that's where I gave away a free ticket to that first event. I can't do that anymore. I won't do that anymore, right? It cheapens the content now. But at the beginning, it didn't. Because what I was doing was I was capturing as much as possible, lots of market share in people's brains, but I was filling the event with people from the ClickFunnels space. Oh, my dream customer? And I was leveraging off of a campaign that ClickFunnels was heavily backing. Okay, the 30 Days book. And that's what dumped in tons of people who are my dream customer. I was able to validate my stuff in front of them and to myself in front of a free event and get it on camera and repurpose the crap out of it, which has caused tons of noise, which only since November, okay, it's only April. It's only been since November that I've decided to try and be the offer guy. Doesn't it feel like it's been longer than that? Oh, how did I do it? Like that. Okay, that's how. And this was by design, guys. I planned this out ahead of time. So I was like, okay, I need to be able to create a lot of momentum. There needs to be, how can I create as much noise as I physically can? How do I set this up in a way, right? Does this make sense? So I wasn't just looking at it from a market positioning standpoint. Okay, I was looking from a marketing positioning standpoint where I'm like, okay, no one's been the offer guy, but someone has been. Ooh, that's cool. Who am I going to attach myself to? ClickFunnels space, sweet, because I already have some stature there, so why wouldn't I? Right? Plus, they already represent my true dream customer as it is. How do I get a lot of them to stand up and come over here? I'm not telling them to abandon ClickFunnels. That's stupid. Okay, I'm not trying to be the funnel guy. I'm trying to be the offer guy, and they work in tandem. So I created a complementary market, not a throw rocks at the other market. Okay, I created a complementary blue ocean attached to ClickFunnels, and to fill it, I piggybacked off of the momentum that ClickFunnels already had. Gave away a free ticket that was on purpose to just get butts and seats. Then what I did is to get people there, as I told them they will not get the swag and I will not ship their swag to them, and they will forfeit their swag if they don't show up. That caused some of the most ridiculous buzz ever. It pissed people off, and honestly, I'm okay with that, because what happened? I got butts and seats, because I wanted people to hear that I knew what the heck I was talking about, and I wasn't a guy just who came out of the ClickFunnels space riding that gravy train. You see what I'm saying? And it worked. Okay, so the aftermath of that, what happened was, that's kind of more of a middle of the value ladder move, right? Even though it was free-ish, it still was content that I used to go launch something on the back end, and now we're launching more things in the middle, and there's a lot coming down at the bottom. And the reason we're doing that OfferMind masterclass, right? OfferMindMasterclass.com. You'll see. I'm not gonna let that rabbit out yet. Okay, but that's the reason why. It was by some serious design. None of my other events will ever be free ever. I'm actually pride myself that I'm very expensive. Okay, and it's for a lot of reasons. It's not to keep other people out, but man, I was going through my value ladder the other day. I have, I think, 20 free, insanely valuable things. If not free, they're in the bottom of the value ladder. I got a lot of free stuff, right? My actual stuff's very expensive, and I don't apologize for it. Okay, but what I wanted to go do is like I said, capture that market share, test the core theories that I'd already been doing. I'd already been teaching them. Other people had already had success with it. Okay, but I also wanted to be able to go in and show others, like, yeah, I'm worthy to crown myself as the offer king here. Okay, and so anyways, that's why it happened. So when you are, there's a lot of forces behind this. So whenever you're trying to figure out, like, what is you want to go do, first of all, understand that a lot of that takes time to figure out, right? I mean, I've been active in this game now for, I have to think how old my girl is. It's usually a year or two less than that. It's been like 4.5 years that I've been active in this game. I started using ClickFunnels like right after they left beta. I think it was actually on the webinar right after they left beta. But I was already selling stuff on the internet, and I was already building websites with agencies and stuff, and I was already anyway. So I've been active in this game for a while, and I just barely figured out what it is that I want to be and do. So I'm the offer guy, and I know where the value ladder is leading, and it's leading to a very specific spot. And so I've designed out the value ladder. The mistake for me would be to build it as fast as humanly possible. What I should do is build it as fast as possible with the constraints of launching under good campaigns. So a lot of what you're going to watch me do here over the next year is I'm going to, right? I've got one of my top things. It's not my tippity top back end thing, but OfferLab. That is where I help people build their offers and put all this stuff in place. And I got all these coaches that come in, and I got like OfferLab's amazing. If you guys go to myofferlab.com, myofferlab, the guy who wanted OfferLab was like, it was insanely expensive. Myofferlab.com though, that's one of the things that has come out of this so far. It is one of the things on the value ladder. OfferMind, definitely under it. There's a bunch of other stuff that I'm not willing to release yet or talk about. There's stuff afterwards. I know what it is as well. So once I know what those things are, it's not enough for me just to go build the product. I also need to build a campaign that launches it and an evergreen campaign that sustains it afterwards. Okay, and so those are the things that, anyway, those are a lot of things that most funnel builders don't look at. They usually start driving ads. It's okay. It's just you lose out on a ton of money and noise. That's why OfferMind was free. Boom. If you're just starting out, you're probably studying a lot. That's good. You're probably geeking out on all the strategies also, right? That's also good. But the hardest part is figuring out what the market wants to buy and how you should sell it to them, right?
That's also what I struggled with for a while until I learned the formula. So I created a special mastermind called an OfferMind to get you on track with the right offer and, more importantly, the right sales script to get it off the ground and sell it. Want to come? There's small groups on purpose so I can answer your direct questions in person for 2 straight days. You can hold your spot by going to OfferMind.com. Again, that's OfferMind.com.